A man on a deep-sea mission. Good evening, I'm Courtney Mims. Chad Grier, the new football coach at Oceanside Collegiate Academy, wants to make a rumble in the Lowcountry high school football scene. But for the school where previous coach Charlie Stubbs retired after just 2 games, he has a lot of work to do. An early night practice behind a church in Awendaw. No goalpost out here, just raw athletes under a new coach who wants it all to change.
Because every night it's football, and so we did some really advanced coverage stuff to start with, and realized through the spring that we're not ready for that. So we really had to dial it back, and it was very eye-opening. So we've got to go very fundamental and basic, and then let's make sure the kids aren't having to think too much. They can just play, and then we'll add to it.
Chad Grier, one of the top coaches in high school football, starting the program at Davidson Day and leading the team to 4 state titles in his 6 years there. But it's a different ball game just 200 miles down the road from Charlotte.
Football IQ was really low. Guys just didn't really understand concepts of the game. So we really had to go back to. You couldn't really talk in terms of hey, you got a 3 technique here. What is that? I mean, we really had to go back. A gap. 2 hole. Whatever. And but they learned fast and they wanted to learn. But so a lot of it. That was probably the biggest challenge, was trying to raise IQ. Because I like to teach concepts. I want to teach the game. So that I don't like to memorize plays. I like to understand, here's the concept of running and why.
But Grier wasn't the only one to move to a new town. His former QB at Davidson Day, Sam Hartman, a commit to Wake Forest, decided he wanted to stay with his coach.
And that's like one thing that when Coach Chad was trying to convincing me to come down here, that was one of the big things he said was, hey, come down and start something that you can leave a legacy, like a big footprint down here that can help grow a program, one for him and just for the future kids down here, that like you can come play at a smaller school and go to college and kind of set what we did at Davidson Day on a bigger map. The tools we have here are like unbelievable to help like grow this huge. This is going to be like I feel like a huge program in about 10 years. It's going to be talked about like playing on ESPN.
Even with a QB, the team is still viewed as the underdogs. They went 0-8 in their first season last year, but that isn't bothering Grier.
About 2 weeks after I'd taken the job, I was at home in Charlotte, and I was at the kitchen counter watching film. And there wasn't a lot of film, but what we had, some game film. And I guess I didn't realize I was commenting on it out loud. And my wife walked by, and she finally put her hand on my shoulder, and she said, "Honey, would you have taken this job? Did you watch this film first?" And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. But the flip side of it is this, I don't have a goal to win a game. I have a goal of winning kids, and that's what our program's all about.
You might recognize the name Grier if you're a Gators fan or just surf the web. That's because his son Will Grier was former QB for UF and the current quarterback at West Virginia. His other 2 sons, YouTube sensations. Courtney Mims, Sports 4.